Um, you guys might be thinking I'm sipping on the haterade, but here's some truths about the Apple iOS and Android operating system and how the pinch to zoom works. Let's start with Apple. Apple, as you can see, their pinch to zoom is very smooth and fluid, right? Of course, most consumers don't even see what's going on in the background and how they manipulate the operating system, so it looks that way. So a couple of my friends from the IT business, they told me a lot of the pinch to zoom features from both platforms have different functionalities and how they render the page. OS, how the pinch to zoom works is it doesn't render the page live. It takes a thumbnail and then it's kind of like a trickery. It tricks you, right? It tricks you into thinking that it's actually loading the page, but realistically they're just taking a thumbnail and then they load the page after, or they load some content after. So it looks like a seamless transition. Also, when you pinch the zoom, as you can see, the text will never be in focus. It'll always be very pixelated. And I'm sure you guys see this. You guys probably, I say 50% probably don't even notice it because it happens so quickly. And it's all manipulation. It's all trickery from Apple. I'm not hating. I have an iPad. I love it. It's a good companion to my Mac, and I use it every day. And at the same time, I have an Android device. Pinch to zoom here is not as smooth as my iPhone 4. However, it does do live rendering versus the iOS, which, like I said, does a thumbnail and then loads everything together, so it's like a seamless experience, which is not a bad thing. It's just I thought that you guys would like to know how the system works. As for Android, most phones that are single core or anything less than a dual core these days seem to be lacking in the fluidity of the pinch to zoom. I think it's not because of how unreliable or how slow the processors are or how slow the operating system is. I think it's just because of rendering and how Android doesn't do that thumbnail and then load after. So I think that's the major differences between the two operating systems. Yeah, just leave a comment down below. You guys might dislike, doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm fine with all the hate, and it's just for conversation. But it is true though what I said about the iOS and the Android, and that's why a lot of people think iOS is better in terms of pinching and zooming and the whole experience of mobile web browsing. But I just like to differentiate both the two platforms. They're both obviously good platforms, very successful. There are pros and cons to each, of course. Yeah, just leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you guys would like to see different from Android or iOS. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'd also like to add that I think Android devices render some pages differently in terms of what kind of coding and accesses for certain websites. For example, I did a comparison with PhoneDog.com and Engadget. Engadget with more media, with more flash and more larger files, larger pictures, seem to render a lot better and a lot faster than PhoneDog, which has tiny little thumbnails and a lot of text. So when you look at it that way, perhaps it's just the coding that is the problem between the website and Android. So just something for you guys to think about. I actually have proof that the PhoneDog does load slower than Engadget, which is a much longer site, has a lot more content because it's a blog style, right? So yeah, just take a look at the clip.